Howdy folks, my name is Alex, otherwise known as For the Z, and welcome to episode 62 of the Turnage Digest. As always, we'll start with our disclaimer. I'm not a financial or tax advisor. This is not financial or tax advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, but please enjoy. So we'll start with our housekeeping. As always, you can support me on Patreon if you'd like, or patreon.com/Turnage Digest. There's some exclusive that we'll talk about in this episode. They come up because they're prevalent. Some things like lightning deals, which are more timely updates that I share there. You'll get a push notification. We also have a Discord tier as well as a Cleed tier. And you'll also get shout-outed in the episode, or shout-out when you join. So, and if you're a member of the Cleed tier, you get called out every episode. And we're starting to get a bunch of members, so thank you all for contributing. Right now we have Kung Fuhrer, Cleed, Dion, Erica, Hugh, Hui, and Daniel, as well as new members, Ricky and Rob, to the Cleed tier. So thank you very much for your support, as well as welcome to BNS Chasing, TC, and Laura to the Patreon. Also, hat tip to Sasha for this recommendation, but show notes will now have timestamps of when each section is discussed in the episode. There are some podcasting services like Spotify that already automatically do this, but for those of you that just either your podcasting service doesn't provide that, or for whatever reason you want to just be able to reference a specific section of the podcast quickly, there'll be timestamps in the show notes. I'm going to work with the contractor that I'm doing this with to get them to actually be linkable podcasts, like linkable show notes, that'll link to the YouTube version of the podcast. So like if it says 3 minutes and 24 seconds, you can just click on it and it'll bring you to that section of the podcast. I'm always trying to improve the podcast I'm not the one who listens to it, it's y'all. So if there are things that you think would be beneficial to be added, something like that was pretty easy. I can outsource it pretty quickly and get that added. So thanks, Sasha, for the recommendation, and hope y'all like it. And you can always reach out to me on Discord, on Patreon if you're a member, on email, churnersdigest@gmail.com, on Reddit if you're the Z, or Smoke Signals if you're into that kind of thing. So without further ado, let's jump right in here. Our first category is credit cards. So first, there are a bunch of Chase updates. So first, we'll start with the Chase Freedom or Freedom Flex, which will come up twice here. So a little out of order, so sorry about that. But first, the Q3 categories for the Chase Freedom Flex have been announced. They are gas stations, EV charging stations, select live entertainment, and Instacart. I'm pretty sure that we'll talk about it in a minute here, about the overlap. But also, user HappyP2 updated their tracker. It's in the show notes. So looking at Chase in the past for Q3, they normally do gas. They normally do some kind of entertainment, whether it be live entertainment or movie theaters. They've done streaming in the past. I don't think Instacart has been a category before. Let me see. Instacart. Yeah, this is the first time Instacart's been used as a unique category. Cool, I guess. Looking over at The Good Doctor, all the Q3 5% categories have been announced. So as we mentioned, Chase is gas, EV, and Instacart, and select entertainment. Discover is gas, EV, public transit, and utilities. So there's that overlap. Gas station is pretty easy to just buy gift cards at if you're into that kind of thing. I think it's a little bit too much effort than it's worth. Too much effort to too much squeeze, not enough juice. The city dividend is also gas, home improvement. Geez, everybody thinks we're buying gas this quarter. U.S. Bank and U.S. Bank Cash Plus has your select categories all the same. All the rest of these are the same. Smaller niche 5% categories. The Nassau FCU is also gas and education. Langley is grocery, streaming, Home Depot, Lowe's. Huntington Business Voice is your category, and then Safe Credit Union is various. So it does suck when there's these overlaps like this, because obviously if you have gas spend, they're not all going to be centered in one quarter of the year. You could buy gift cards for the gas station, like a Shell gift card or something like that. Or if you're shopping at Shell, you're not going to get a great discount because Shell's kind of pricey gas, but you know what I mean. Next is the big bulk of this episode is Chase Sapphire Reserve and Preferred and just Chase updates in general. So Doctor Credit made a whopping 10 posts, it seems like, on the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I mean, they probably could have just consolidated this into like one post and just kept it like pinned instead of having all these bespoke posts, but I'll just go through each one. The credit card designs have been revealed. The Chase Sapphire Reserve kind of looks like a sort of like a wave formation, or like corduroy lines in sand or in snow. And the Business Reserve looks like, if you've seen a Chase Sapphire Reserve lounge, these two cards kind of match what the lounges in the outside look like. At least the one in, I think it's the one that's in LaGuardia looks like this. So I'm assuming this is like the design language they're going for. So neat. Obviously, if one of you have this, I definitely need to add this to my credit card collection. So definitely reach out if you have it. I'll pester my own Discord members. Next, we have annual fee and existing cardholder details. So I'm just going to read this basically verbatim from Dr. Credit. The new card details are showing on Chase Links. The new improved Chase Sapphire Reserve card will go live on June 23rd, which has come and passed. It's now June 30th. And they put improved in quotes, which is funny. Card will have a $7.95 annual fee, extra $1.90 fee for each additional card user. Ouch. All the new benefits and points earning rates, etc., will be effective for new card applications on June 23rd and beyond. Existing cardholders will get charged the lower $5.50 annual fee for their renewals if they take place by October 25th, 2025 or prior. Card renewals on October 26th or beyond will be at the $7.95 annual fee and will still have the old rewards, I believe. Let's keep reading. Existing cardholders. Important. Existing cardholders will not get the new card benefits and point rates until October 26, 2025. Until then, you'll earn points and get card benefits like you did before. All the changes will basically, all like you did before, all the changes with basically no changes at all. For example, you'll keep 3x rates through October 25th. October 26, 2025, everyone will have all the new card benefits, both the positive new credit cards, etc., and the negative no 3x earning on travel, etc. Card renewals before October 27th, 2025 will get charged the lower $5.50 annual fee. Your first card renewal after October 26th, 2025 will get $7.95 fee. So if you're in a boat where your card is renewing October 25th, 2025, you'll get the old fee, but then you'll get the new benefits of the card for that lower rate. So kind of a little bit nice for those weird edge cases, but still overall, $7.95 is a lot of bucks, bro. Next, document an individual post to share that the $300 travel credit remains intact and is now confirmed that the $300 travel credit will remain intact apparently with all the same benefits as before. Up to $300 annually towards travel purchases, the most flexible travel credit available. Now, the Chase $300 travel credit is easy to use. It typically works on just about anything travel related. Even toll billing works for me. See what counts here. So there's a dedicated post that's just for it. Nice. They haven't removed at least one nice thing. All the new benefits are listed on their site. 8x points on Chase Traveler for flights, hotel, rental cars, cruises, activities, and tours. 4x when you book direct airlines or hotel. Up to $500 in prepaid booking made with at The Edit, our hand-picked collection of hotels and resorts. Up to $300 annual with flexible travel credit. And a whole bunch of other benefits. Next, the Chase Sapphire Preferred 1.25 cent redemption for points on the portal, as well as for the Ink Preferred, are ending, which is a sad change. It's an easy way to get an additional value out of your points. In addition, the Chase Sapphire Reserve is also removing their 1.5% travel redemption, and instead adds a boost feature for 2% on select travel. So there's been various updates here. So when redeeming points after October 26, 2025, you will not be able to choose which points get used up. The points will be used up for a first in, first out, regardless of when they were earned for. Example, you have one bucket of 100K points, which you have 1.5 redemption ability for, and another for 100K, which do not. You transfer 100K points to Hyatt, and you won't have any points with 100. Okay, yep. So basically, let me read this before I just read the whole doc. Here you go. Here's a summary. For existing cardholders, which includes all those who have the card before June 22nd, 2025, for points earned prior to October 26, 2025, you'll keep the fixed 1.5% redemption rate. for 2 years through October 25th, 2027. You'll also get the better 2% redemption option when available. The system will automatically give you the better redemption rate. The feature will kick in immediately on June 23rd, 2025. For points earned after October 26th, 2025 and onward, you only have the 1 to 2 variable points boost redemption rate. New cardholders applied on June 23rd, 2025 or beyond won't have the 1.5% feature at all. They will immediately have just the 1 to 2% value boost. So I know a lot of people have recommended the Chase Sapphire Preferred or Reserve specifically for this ecosystem of being able to move your Chase points from, say, your Freedom Unlimited, which gets 1.5x and everything, your Freedom or Freedom Flex, which got 5% rotating, and the Freedom Flex, and the Freedom Unlimited, which gets 3% on dining as well as pharmacy, and I think one more. I can't remember the other one. But you would then bring those all over to your Reserve or Preferred and then get your points boost of 25% or 50%. Now that's gone. Now you have this variable 2% that sometimes kicks in. Let me see if I can get some more details on that. There isn't too much details on this 2% points boost. It seems like it'll be available here and there. It says your points are worth up to 2x on thousands of top booked hotels featuring the Regent, Santa Monica Beach, a member of the Edit. Your points are worth 2x on premium cabin tickets on select airlines featuring Singapore Airline business class. Also, Pay Yourself Back they haven't really talked about it. Dr. Credit says Chase basically already shipped away 1.5% redemption for Pay Yourself Back a while ago, but they did leave us with some good options at 1.25%. Hopefully that feature will remain and we'll at least have a fairly reliable 1.25% cash out method as a floor on Ultimate Rewards points. A lot of negative changes here. I mean, on the surface, I think a lot of influence people that cover credit cards are going to highlight these positives of additional benefits to like the Edit credits and the $300 travel credit, which was already there, and like the ridiculous DoorDash couponing book. But like when you get into the nitty gritty, like you're losing the ability to transfer points and get additional value. You're losing the ability for Pay Yourself Back, which is already kind of gone anyway. So it's not great changes in Chase Land, but I'm sure investors will love it. There were some rumors about massive sign-up bonuses for the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, and it's crazy to think that the rumors were massive, and now coming out they're not that big. So looking at let me see if I can find the actual page. Here it is. The personal card earn 100,000 points plus a $500 Chase travel promo credit after you spend $5,000 in purchase in the first 3 months from account opening, and $500 in credit for one-time use per terms. The personal credit is valid for one-time use only. If you apply the personal credit for less than $500, you will forfeit the remaining balance. The business card is 200,000 points after you spend $30,000 in the first 6 months from account opening. This is kind of similar to what they already offered for the Reserve. I don't know if the Reserve's ever had 100K points. I know the Preferred has, which is weird that the Preferred has had a higher bonus than the Reserve. And the business bonus is decent for a business card. I think the Venture X business has similar but higher spend requirements for 200K. I think it might be 30K plus another 10K to get the full 200K. So nice little value there, I guess. Next, Chase will do away with the 48-month sign-up eligibility in favor of proprietary eligibility determination, basically Chase pop-up jail. So now when you go to apply and it gets to a certain stage, you'll get a pop-up that says, a quick update about your application. It looks like you're not eligible for a Chase Sapphire Reserve, not eligible for a bonus for a Chase Sapphire Reserve card. This can happen if you've already held or received a bonus from the credit card. Current holders of the personal Chase Sapphire Reserve card are also ineligible. We haven't done a credit check, so there will be no impact to your score if you choose to continue. Continue without bonus, cancel my application, no impact to your score. Which, I mean, I personally think that it's better for customers to be more transparent with like if you're getting the bonus or not. So I'm happy that there's pop-ups, but if just the existence of a pop-up means that there's less people being approved for these bonuses, then that's a net negative. Speaking of these bonuses, it looks like Chase's backend wasn't fully ready about this just yet, because Chase is approving accounts despite users declining due to the pop-up, as well as people were getting the pop-up that told them that they're not eligible and they're still seeing the bonus tracker. So it looks like most of those have been fixed by now, but it's just kind of these growing pains. When you launch something at a massive company, it's hard to keep track of all these niche edge cases. You would think it'd be kind of their job to do it, but things fall through. Next, Chase will allow customers to get both Chase Sapphire Preferred and the Reserve cards. Don't know why you'd want that, but you're able to get both. So you'll be told if you're ineligible for the bonus, at least with that little pop-up, and you can get both cards if you'd like. Next are just details about the specific Chase Sapphire Reserve and business variant of the card. I'm not going to read through all the terms. You can definitely check it out if you want. Next, Dr. Credit has, should you upgrade to the Chase Sapphire Reserve before June 23rd? If you apply for or upgrade Chase Sapphire Preferred card before June 23rd, you'll lock in the 1.5 redemption option for more than 2 years until October 2027 for all points earned before October 26, 2025. Points earned after October 26, 2025 will not have the 1.5 redemption value via Chase Travel. Presumably, if someone upgrades the Chase Sapphire Preferred card before June 23rd, all their points balance for the prior earnings will maintain the 1.5% redemption option until 2027. Likewise, presumably, any points transferred to a Chase Sapphire Reserve card before October 26, 2025 will remain the 1.5% option until 2027. So if you have a lot of Chase Sapphire, you have a lot of Chase points, it would behoove you to open up the card and then transfer your points over to lock in that 1.5% redemption rate if you'd like. You'll also get your first year at 550 if you have value in that. Yeah. Next, there's a few new Chase bonuses coming in. This was posted on June 19th. So it looks like on June 22nd, these became in effect. So the Chase Sapphire Reserve bonus will be $75,000 after spending $5K. I assume that's in 3 months. The United Explorer card is going down from $80K to $60K. The Chase Freedom Unlimited in-branch offer is $200 plus 5X on groceries and gas for the first year of card membership, limit $12,000 in spend on that bonus 5X rate. Pretty decent bonuses. I think specifically the Chase Freedom Unlimited is good, especially if you have a good way of spending a bunch in gas. You can get a bunch of Chase points, which are now technically a little bit less valuable because you don't have that 25% to 50% boost anymore. But anyway, next, the Amtrak credit card has a sign-up bonus that's back at 40K points for spending $2K in 3 months for a $99 annual fee. And the Amtrak redemptions are about 2.6 cents per point, expires today. A month from today, July 30th. Someone shares this is one of the best cards to do if you live within a city that lives along the Northeast region. Someone says, is it worth the 524 slot? They say, if what I said holds that for you, then yes, I certainly would. The yield is about $900 net plus the upgrade and companion vouchers. So if you go Amtrak a lot, or if you think you'll travel Amtrak a lot, decent card to pick up. Next is a whole thread on R-churning, which people on R-churning seem to over-police themselves to the point where they make rules that aren't actually set by the moderators. Like, you're able to make a self-post on R-churning, just most people downvote it. And someone went and created a data points thread of approvals and denials for Chase Sapphire Reserve personal and business debit cards. So if you're interested to see who's gotten approved and who hasn't, take a look there. Next, speaking of this couponing book of the Chase Sapphire Reserve, someone did a little math of the breakdown of the Apple credits. So regarding Chase Sapphire Reserve Apple credit, this is from Gambit Gamer. They don't pan out even if you use the services if you have a family. I currently have Apple One Premier for my family. It costs $37.95 a month, and we use it for 2 terabytes of iCloud storage, Apple TV Plus, Apple Music, and Apple News Plus. Honestly, great combination for a little bit under the $40, especially if it works for all your family members. The user shares, if I cancel these and sign up to the service individually using the Chase Sapphire Reserve credits, it would look like Apple Cloud Plus 2 terabytes for $10 a month, Apple TV Plus for $10 covered by the Chase Sapphire Reserve, Apple Music Family for $16.95, not covered by the Chase Sapphire Reserve, only the individual one is. and Apple News Plus for $12.99. It's coming out behind a total of $29.97, despite that I actually use Apple TV Plus and Apple Music. Kind of perverse. This is a niche case where you're picking Apple's discounted bundle product to then compare to this card. I think for some use cases it would probably work. Like if you are going to have Apple TV Plus as well as have Apple Music, not the family version, you'd then get probably $20 worth of value a month. So not terrible. Also, speaking of the growing pains, people are also seeing the terms for the old card after getting approved. They're seeing info for the old sign-up bonus, old benefits, and an old annual fee when applying for the new card. It looks like most people were seeing this for referral links, and it should be fixed by now. But I thought I'd call that out. Just growing pains, Also, the Chase Sapphire Reserve business card is a pay-in-full card. So it's a charge card. It seems like a lot of these business cards are changing to that way. Maybe, I think the general population views a credit limit, especially if you have like a small business, as like a limitation. Even if it's like $20K, you're like, oh, I can only spend $20K. Even though you could I wouldn't cycle the credit very frequently, but maybe a month. If you had a $20K purchase, you could make a $20K purchase and pay it off and then continue to use the card for the month. But now you have no preset credit limit. So the NPCL, I think is what they call it in the industry. It doesn't mean you have no limit. Yeah, there is a limit to a purchase volume you can make, as well as a single transaction that you can make that the algorithm is just determined. But it's easier from a management standpoint to be like, hey, well, behind the scenes, if you have all this data already and you know how much this consumer often spends, you say, hey, just spend on the card as you normally would, and we'll learn your habits, and you could spend as much as you need and pay it off whenever you can. They're hoping that you'll spend more than your means and you'll pay interest. You can also request to see your buying power. I know American Express offers this for their charge cards. I think my Platinum has it. I forget which one of my American Express cards has this, but like you can check and see your buying power to be like, hey, I have a $20,000 purchase coming up. Will I get approved? You can put it in and it'll say, hey, you won't get approved, or yes, you will, or what have you. So I think banks like to tout that as like a huge feature when it really isn't that great. All right. Finally, in the Chase category, the Chase Freedom Flex is no longer accepting applications. This was today. Reddit users said they called to downgrade their Chase Sapphire Reserve card, and the Flex wasn't given as an option, as well as the website's not showing the card. So they just rebranded a few years ago to go from Freedom to Freedom Flex. Maybe Chase doesn't like the 5% categories anymore, because I'm sure they're losing money on it from people like me that exclusively use it for the 5% category. But I have bigger fish to fry anyway, so we'll see what comes of it. Hopefully they don't go away with it. Next, we have some rumors about a new Walmart card posted by Reddit user Deleted, because it's a throwaway account. They said, Walmart expected to launch a new card with financial partner Synchrony card management to be handled from within the OnePay app, which is obvious because they bought OnePay and they want to put it all under one bank or one umbrella. Going back to Synchrony is crazy, though, because they already had a relationship with them and sued them, and they're going back to them as their finance partner. Rewards will be earned as Spark rewards and are equivalent to Sam's Cash or Walmart Cash that can be redeemed at either brand. While not official, names are expected to be Spark Rewards Credit Card, Spark Rewards World MasterCard, Spark Rewards Plus Credit Card, and Spark Rewards Plus World Elite MasterCard. Rewards will be 3x on Walmart and Sam's Club private label when using OnePay, Walmart Pay, Scan and Go, or shopping at Walmart or Sam's Club app. 1.5x on all Walmart and Sam's Club purchases, including gas, accessories, access to Sam's Club gas stations. 1.5x on dining, 1x on everything else, no annual fee. The Rewards Plus will be 5x on Walmart and Sam's Club private label brands when using OnePay, Walmart Pay, Scan and Go, or shopping on Walmart or Sam's Club. 3x on all Walmart and Sam's Club purchases, including gas, access to Sam's Club gas stations. 5x on BK purchases, LTO. Don't know what that means. It's not Burger King. 3x on dining, 2x on all other purchases. Includes Walmart Plus and Sam's Club Plus membership and is a $150 annual fee. That's a pretty decent value prop. It sounds pretty complex, but the Plus card seems pretty good if you already have Walmart Plus. I'm curious to see what will happen with the American Express Platinum Walmart Plus partnership because they give free Walmart Plus there. I'm curious if Walmart subsidizes that or if American Express just gives that to you on the Platinum card. I have to imagine it's a partnership with Walmart. But if something like this comes out, it sounds like it's competing directly against it. So why would they offer both? So watch out, American Express. Next, in Capital One world, their flagship JFK lounge has opened. Going through the post on View from the Wing, which is like a travel blog, they did a really good job, and the place looks pretty fantastic. I'm not going to lie. There was a joke in here about the cups are like very stealable, and on the bottom it says like permanently on loan from Capital One Cafe. Yeah, on permanent loan from Capital One Lounge and Francia, made in New York. It looks super spacious, a lot of drinks, a lot of food options, all complimentary. There's some to-go things. There's on-tap rosé and coffee. It looks fantastic. I got Chase Sapphire in the mind. The Capital One lounges have been the second best lounges that I've been into. I think the Chase Sapphire lounges are still the best, at least the one in Logan, compared to the Capital One lounges that I've been to in Dulles, and I feel like there's another one I went to. I went to the Capital One Landing in Reagan, and I can't think of the third lounge I've been to, the Capital One. I definitely have been to another one. There's one in New York somewhere that I've been to. But this looks even better, so it can only be up from here. Next, moving on to some applications that I had. Oh, wait, let me take that back. One more thing about Capital One. They're now showing in-store offers. So, like, they do Capital One shopping, where, like, you can go to your Capital One account, look at your credit card, and then there's, like, shopping offers, where it's, like, the portal that you can click through, like Rakuten or Top Cash Back. Normally those are better for me, but I'll always check Capital One just to see if they're better. You get the points back in terms of, I think they say like 7x for points, but I think I normally get it as statement credits. And you don't have to pay with your Capital One card either. You just click through Capital One and then you can pay with whatever card you want. But now they have in-store offers, so similar to Rakuten. All right, some applications I had. I think last month I talked about the J.Crew card that I applied for. I think I wound up getting, let me see if I can find the exact number. I know some people might be like, Alex, you can get better benefits, better sign-on bonus for a different card that's not a J.Crew card. But I shop a lot of J.Crew, so I'll get 7.5% back on J.Crew purchases, which are better than my 4.5%, soon to be 5.25% on my Bank of America online shopping category set for my customized cash cards, in addition to getting the occasional 20% off additional on your purchase. So I have student status with J.Crew, so I get 15% off my total purchase, and they often do pretty great discounts, and I just like their products a lot. I consider myself to be decently fashionable. At least I like to buy clothes, so that's what makes me fashionable. So you occasionally get 20% off on purchases from there. And I bought my dad a nice leather jacket for his birthday or for Father's Day. And the sign-on bonus turned out to be $160 for that. And it's slim pickings for me nowadays for getting approvals. I did get approved for that Hilton Honors card. I think I talked about it last episode. Maybe I didn't. No, I didn't. I think I just applied for it, so I'm going to talk about it now. But finishing up with the J.Crew card, I opened it on the 11th of June, and I still have not received the card yet. It's been a full 20 days, and I have not gotten the card yet. Thankfully, they give you a temporary card, which is cool. Like, you get a temporary card number online, but the temporary card is only good for 2 weeks after your application, so it expired 4 days ago. So I now just can't use the card at all. It's coming in the mail, I guess. Synchrony said, if it's not here by tomorrow, the 1st, then give them a call back and they can send me another one. Next, I applied for the American Express Hilton Honors Business Card and was approved with no pop-up. The application did go pending. They specifically asked me for documents to prove like assets, I guess, of the business, which I'm calling the podcast. I just put it as a sole prop. And I submitted Wealthfront statements, but then I got back saying that they only accept statements from financial institutions and from checking, savings, or money market accounts. So I called them and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, Wealthfront's my bank. I have done a bad job of separating my personal and my business income. I just have it all going to my Wealthfront account. But Patreon tracks most of the money I make from the podcast. And then any extra, I don't even think I have any extra. I just keep track of my expenses elsewhere. Like I have a specific card that I've been using. It's not a business card, but I put my business expenses on it. And my Discord sales, those also I'm tracking within Discord. And then again, the purchases go on the quote unquote business card. So I was like, hey, I don't have a specific business account. I had a Found account, which was really great. They would also take any deposits that they thought were income and set aside the tax amount for it, which was just cool to see. But they shut me down for various reasons. So now I just had Wealthfront. So I called them back and they're like, yeah, we don't accept Wealthfront. And I was like, I have other Wealthfront statements that come from Green Dot. Can I attach that? They were like, sure, but can you upload like anything else that's not like a fintech app? And I was like, sure. I gave them my personal Ally account that just shows like money going in and out, not a lot of balance. And also gave them my Genesis statement, which is a credit union that earns, I think it's like 6.75 APY on $7,500, just to show like I have some cash that's just sitting around. I sent that in and I still got denied. They said, please resubmit your files. I resubmitted the files and then it just got denied, and it said your balance, payment history, and insufficient documents was the reasoning. So I called up. The agent was pretty useless. They just read to me the reason, and I was like, yeah, I think it's because you didn't like my documents. So like, can you reconsider? Or at first it was just like, is there anything we can do about it? And she was like, oh, like I there's nothing I could do. And I was like, well, can you reconsider? She's like, oh, you want to reconsider? Like you have to say the magic word for them to do it. Like, oh, you want to reconsider? Sure, let me send you the reconsideration department. So I was sent over, and the guy was like, okay, I'll process your reconsideration. And then I was immediately approved when they sent it over to Recon. The guy hung up the phone and said, you'll hear back from me. Not hear back from me, but hear back from the system. The system automatically approved me. So I was approved on 6/16 of 2025, and I still don't have the card by the 30th. So I called on the 20th, and I was like, hey, I still don't have my card. And they were like, oh, we'll expedite it to you. So it gets here tomorrow. I think I have a pretty decent American Express friendly MS opportunity that's a water bottle opening, for opening a bank account. I think I detailed it in another episode, kind of hit a little bit needle in the haystack. So it's also just specific region for banks. So sorry for those that are not in my region. But hopefully that works, and I'll definitely share about it coming if it does work or not. But that was a great approval. I am currently, what's the count here? 1624. So happy to get approved there. Next, I got a message from Chris from All the Hacks. Last episode, I talked about some spreadsheets that some users that have shared on Reddit in the past, and I've referenced variously throughout the episodes. And he asked me for links to them, so I figured I'd just put them in the show notes. So there's links to a list on a spreadsheet of all U.S. airline cards, including their benefits and their earn rates, as well as their companion pass or what have you, as well as links to all the cards. An entertainment breakdown, which you talked about in the last episode, where it breaks down the various annual fee-free cards or annual fee cards that have entertainment as a rewards category, and then breaks down the MCCs in specific categories within entertainment to see what qualifies. So, like, for example, the Wells Fargo Attune is the most free-giving entertainment category, which rewards on all entertainment categories except for museums. But the only card that does earn on museums for entertainment is the Chase Freedom Flex, when the Chase Freedom Flex monthly category or quarterly category is set to entertainment. Another card we have is a credit card guide to benefits. So this one specifically it has annual fees, a bunch of credit cards, the benefits for like the network specifically. So if there's foreign transaction fees, if there's cell phone protection, if there's extended warranty, if there's price protection, if there's return protection, a whole bunch of various things. So if any of this is ever interesting to you, someone's made a spreadsheet for it, and it's linked in the show notes. As well as finally, we have a spreadsheet for Hilton credit data points. So this is data points on whether particular Hilton cards earned a reimbursement for purchases. So the Hilton Surpass and the Business Platinum have, I think it's a $50 credit to use at the store or at the hotel, and you can use them at some places at the restaurant on premises, or using it at the Hilton desk to get gift cards or what have you. So this is a great resource for that. These were all shared on Reddit at one point at various times throughout history. Clicked on them, and thanks to Google Docs for keeping all of my historical clicks. Next, we have our American Express category. Man, I am really going slow today. We got a lot to cover. I'm going to start speed running here. Also, in case you ever wanted a peek behind the scenes, I have window units in this room, and all of that noise, including my little hard drive array that sits on my desk, gets picked up by this microphone. So I have all the fans off. I turned off my hard drive array, trying to be as quiet as possible for the recording. And it's getting close to like 80 degrees in my room. So especially with me spewing hot gas out at my face, I need to get through this before I melt away. So going on to the Amazon category, the American Express category. American Express to launch new premium Delta card above the Delta Reserve. According to Reddit user Sean Wahi, who has shared accurate news in the past, American Express and Delta plan to launch a new premium code-branded card that will sit above the Delta Reserve. The Delta Reserve already is a $650 annual fee, so it'll be interesting to see what the annual fee is for this card and what the benefits will be offered. American Express previously teased that they will be making changes to the Platinum and Business cards, non-Delta. And they just recently had a press release as well after the Chase Sapphire Reserve was announced to say, like, hey, we also have updates coming later this year. Stay tuned. Next, the American Express Business Platinum will no longer earn 35% rebate on all first and business class bookings. American Express announced today that the Business Platinum card will no longer include first and business class ticket bookings on an airline that is not your selected airline. This change will go into effect on September 18th. Previously, economy flights needed to be your selected airline in order to get 35% rebate, while first class and business class always earn 35% rebate. Ouch. Many reports unofficially being able to change their selected airline multiple times in mid-year to a domestic airline, but not an international airline, so this can help us somewhat. I wasn't even aware of that, so that's a bad change. Rumors, American Express Platinum annual fee will increase from $695 to $895. They obviously got to beat the Chase Sapphire Reserve and has to be the top-tier business card or top-tier personal travel card, so they need to have the highest annual fee. There's rumors circulating based on the QWW link, which is American Express's pre-production URLs. I don't know why they have them public, but there is a leak that has now been removed that the annual fee is going to be put to $895. Next, American Express to discontinue the Clear from American Express credit card. Apparently, American Express had a credit card that was a partnership with Clear, just a specific card that's co-branded with Clear, not your Clear credits on American Express cards. This card is being discontinued, being product changed to the Cash Magnet. I'm sure this isn't affected by almost anybody. Didn't even know the card existed. Next, American Express Platinum is changing its sign-on bonus offering. It used to be you have to click a bunch of links to finally get it to say 175 points right on the landing page, but now it'll just say up to 175,000 points. It'll say up to that, and then you have to go through the flow, and the system will tell you how much you're eligible for before you submit the application, which is now kind of worse. I gave my referral link in the show notes, as well as I updated my Platinum tracker on the Patreon, so I keep track of the value I get out of my Platinum card. I just decided to renew it and get a retention offer for spend, I think, $3,000 and get $150. So I'm tracking that, and once that card comes due, come this time next year, I'll share if I find it beneficial to keep it. But if you're looking for an American Express Platinum card, try and go for a 175 link and use the one in my show notes. I'd appreciate it. Next, American Express Delta cards, 6 to 12 months of Uber One for free. American Express is offering Delta cards 6 to 12 months of Uber One for free. 12 months free for the Delta Sky Reserve, Reserve Business, Platinum, Platinum Business, American Express cards. 6 months for the Delta Sky Gold or Gold American Express cards. It's better than paying for it as Dr. Credit shares. Uber One, I don't really get a lot of benefit from. I do Uber decently frequently, and I also like DoorDash, but I usually do DoorDash pickup and Uber Eats pickup. But like I'll sometimes Uber Lyft to the airport because getting to Logan sucks around here. So it's nice to have, but I wouldn't pay for it myself. Next, in the broader credit card news, the business credit card company, or the business company Ramp, has a business credit card that is a $1,000 sign-on bonus when you spend $1,000, but requires $25,000 in business bank balance. The specific offerings for the card is the Ramp Business FinTech offers a business card with a sign-on bonus for $1,000 after spending $1,000 making your first balance payment. To qualify for Ramp, you must be a corporation, limited liability company, or LP. Nonprofits welcome. Currently, we're not expecting individuals, sole props, and other types of registered businesses. And you must have at least $25,000 in cash in your linked U.S. business bank account. No annual fee, 1.5% cash back on all purchases, and you can read about their currency and transfer points if you'd like from Octave Credit. Previously, the bonus was $250, and the business balance requirement was $75,000. So now the bonus is $1,000, and the requirement is lower. And apparently, you just have to link to Plaid to show that you have the funds, which would be a lot easier than actually putting the funds into Ramped. I don't even think you can put the funds in the Ramped. If I had an LLC, I would do this. I honestly might just open up an LLC just to do this. You just link the card, and then you just have some liquid cash. I mean, I have plenty of cash I can show. It's not business cash. I don't know if it has to be a business account. At least $25,000 in your linked U.S. business bank account. So maybe it doesn't have to be a business account. But would be an interesting offer, and $1,000 is pretty great. Next, where the heck am I? My Citizens checking and savings bonus posted. So this is specifically for my Citizens $600 checking and savings bonus. I received a mailer for it. My terms specifically stated that I need to have a direct deposit for a monthly $500 or more direct deposit, and I need to have direct deposit of $1,000 or more within the first 3 months, as well as deposit $500 or more into the savings account every month, preceding the month of account open for 3 months. At the end of the 3 months, to keep $1,500 in the savings account. So on 2/19 of this year, I opened up my accounts. On the 21st, I pushed from Wealthfront. I realized that counts as direct deposit. So I was like, oh, sick. It was actually a $500 direct deposit for the checking. So I did the Wealthfront push, which counted as a direct deposit for checking. And then I did a 501 push from Wealthfront into the savings account on the 15th of each month for March, April, and May, abiding by the wait 1 month for the first deposit. And then at the end of my third month after that first month, so my fourth month, I had $1,500 in it because of the 3 $500 pushes. And then I got a tracker in the app that showed that I met all the requirements and that my bonus would pay out soon. And then on June 18th, I received a $600 credit memo Boulder bonus credit, which is great. I was charged a $10 inactivity fee in the checking account, but I'm probably just going to eat it because I don't feel like calling them. And they will always waive it, but I'm just too lazy. I already got $600, so I'll just subtract $10 from that. I have done these bonuses before. My most recent one looks like from November 2023, so definitely check your cooldown times. But it's a pretty great bonus if you're eligible and within footprint. All right, next. U.S. Bank sends out survey regarding new card and changes to Altitude Reserve card. U.S. Bank sent out a survey regarding possible changes to the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve card or the creation of a new card. Question focused on how much the cardholders would be willing to pay for certain benefits, if they would be willing to open a new bank account or investment account alongside the card, and ability to transfer points. Often these surveys don't lead to anything, but at least it seems like U.S. Bank is considering some changes. I will say I recently saw a pretty funny, admittedly, oh no, it wasn't. That was for Southwest. But I did see an ad for U.S. Bank Smartly card. I forget who was peddling it. It might have been like The Rock. I feel like it was The Rock for some reason. And they were advertising that the card was earning, I think, 2.5% cash back on everything. they didn't even talk about earning up to 4%. And at the bottom of the screen in very small font, it said that you could earn up to 4% if you have a certain amount of deposits. So it's crazy to see how much they've changed the marketing of that card. I'm sure they underestimated the amount of people that realize that there is even a 4% card out there, and that 2.5% would now be the best that anyone is offering for a pretty basic card that just earns everywhere. So smart of them to reel that back. Next, we have covered that already. Crypto.com is offering a Visa Signature credit card for with an up to $5,000 sign-up bonus and 6.5% cash back on all purchases, which requires a large crypto stake. I definitely don't think this is a great investment, but for holding a certain amount of CRO, which is, I believe, Crypto.com's own token, if you stake your crypto and for 12 months, you can earn elevated spending rewards. So it goes from $0, which is midnight, which will earn 1.5% on all spend for the first 12 months from tier upgrade or credit card application open date, and then a welcome bonus of a certain amount when you spend a certain amount. So the midnight is spend $1,500 the first 90 days and get $100. Rubies, then $500 staking, 2.5% spending rewards, but 2% thereafter. So the 2.5% is just for the first 12 months, and then the welcome bonus is $150 for spending $2K and $90. The Jade or Indigo, I guess you choose, is $5,000 staked, 3.5%, which then goes to 3% after a year, and then $500 for spending $5,000. The Icy Rose is $50,000 in staking, 5% or 4% after the first year, and then $1,000 when you spend $10,000 the first 180 days. And then finally, there's the Obsidian card, which if that's not metal, you gotta be joking me. It's $500,000 of staking of CRO. You earn 6.5% cash back on the first year, and it's all the rewards are in CRO, so it's all staked or pegged to this crypto token. You'll then earn 5% in CRO after the first year, so not cash back, in CRO. And the welcome bonus is $5,000 after spending $25,000 the first 180 days of account opening. Kind of crazy requirements. I'm sure if someone for some reason holds a bunch of CRO, could get great value out of this. But I wouldn't say go and dump a bunch of money into CRO. Next, for other credit cards, the Alliant Credit Union card, which offered 2.5% cash back on everything when I think you stake $1,000 with them in their like checking account. The card's no longer showing on their website. Changes were made to the card back in 2022, I think, to add that $1,000 requirement. I forget what the changes were. Let me see. But now it's not showing on the site anymore. So people that currently hold the card, I don't know what's going to happen. So back in 2022, starting October 1st, you no longer qualify for a monthly basis instead of quarter per email sent out. Let's see. Alliant is making some changes to the cashback card who opened their account on or before July 13th, 2021. These changes will go into effect in July of billing cycle. Removal of the $100 annual fee, introduction of a tier earning reward system. Tier 1 earns 2.5 cash back up to $10,000 in spend per quarter and 1.5 cash back after that. Tier 2 earns 1.5 cash back on everything. To qualify for Tier 1 rewards, you'll need to open an Alliant account with $1,000 daily balance, have at least one deposit each month, and opt into e-statements. So, yeah, they did devalue it a little bit, but it was still at 2.5% cash back. I assume that's still not worth it for them, so they are not offering the card. Next, Bank of America is offering their 2x reward on all spend a day, which is from, this is targeted, excuse me, this is not, they're offering this. Bank of America sent out a physical mailer as well as emails to some Bank of America clients, so this is targeted, for spend between October 1st and September 30th to earn an additional 2% or 2x on all purchases from August 1st to September 30th. Apparently, there's a $100 limit on the bonus, according to those that received it. I didn't receive it, so not super useful for me, but figured I'd mention it. Next, saw an interesting post on Art Churning, again, a self-post that who knew existed. for something called Rove Miles, where it's a company that, let me read through this before I jibber jabber on what the hell it is. I believe it's a airline purchasing portal, basically, that you make purchases for airlines and hotels through their site, and you get additional rewards in the form of points on your purchases. So like they earn up to 25x on hotels, 3.2x on gift cards, as well as shopping portals, and there's a Chrome extension just like Rakuten and Honey. And they're offering a big sign-up bonus of 10,000 bonus miles for the first booking of $500 or more using code CHURNING at checkout until July 4th, so you got some time. Some people in the comments are saying that it looks like this is too good to be true, but why not? I'll hop on the bandwagon while I can, and it probably is true. It's probably good for a little bit, and they'll end it. But if you're interested, definitely take a look before it's too late. All right. Next, last thing on credit cards. On my City Shop Your Way card that opened up in last episode, I'm having such a hard time using this card, man. When I go and use the card online, MasterCard is something called MasterCard ID Check, which requires you to get a two-factor authentication for some purchases. Since my J.Crew card, which has not arrived, I wanted to use this card to make some purchases at J.Crew because they had a good sale, and I'm looking for some new jeans. I went to check out, this MasterCard ID Check pops up. In the show notes, you see a screenshot. It says, also, this is verbatim what it says. I think this is MasterCard's little pop-up, not Citi. This is verbatim what it says. Authentication failed. Your mode of communication for delivering the one-time password are not up to date with us. This card cannot currently be used participating online stores. You must call customer service and get your mode of communication update. Get your mode of communication update before using this card at a participating online merchant. You will automatically be returned to the online store so that you can enter another form of payment to complete this purchase or click continue to proceed now. I've called Citi. Citi's clueless. The agents don't know what they're doing. They say that there's a phone number linked to my account. I know that. I'm still getting this pop-up. I've tried new tabs. I've tried new computers. I've tried on proxy. I've tried clearing my cookies. I've tried in private browsing. I cannot get past this. This is for purchases also for like $30, just a pair of jeans. I also called Citi and asked them to give me to their manager. Manager got on the phone. I'm like, are you familiar with what MasterCard ID Check is? They're like, yes, MasterCard does that. Let me check your account. It looks like everything's in order. I don't know why you're doing this. Let me get MasterCard on the line. They sent me the MasterCard. They sent me to some phone tree that just hangs up on me. And the agent didn't stay with me. So MasterCard hung up on me, and then I got hung up on by Citi. So I just can't use the card. I guess I'm using it in purchase, but then I tried a $500 purchase on the card and also got declined. So this card just proven to be a bigger pain than I was hoping. But I should have known better because Citi gonna Citi, if you know what I mean. All right, next, there's some bank account bonuses here. So on Top Cash Back is offering $150 for opening a Valley Direct high yield savings account. Let's see if it's still available on Top Cash Back and what the requirements are. Excuse me. It is open nationwide. It is still $150. You need to open a minimum depositing of minimum opening deposit of $1,000. Pretty easy requirements for $150. It looks like let's see if anyone has reported a credit card. What about funding? I'm not seeing any mention of a credit card funding. I don't think there is credit card funding. Sad. Next, Alliant Credit Union is offering $100 Ultimate Opportunity Savings Account with no direct deposit required, plus an extra $150. It's also on Swagbucks, and apparently it's possible to stack the Swagbucks and the $100 offer by clicking through Swagbucks and then navigating to the $100 offer link. So the offer directly is deposit at least $100 for a consecutive 12 months. There must be a balance of $1,200 at the end of the 12-month period, and then you'll receive your $100. Then you can also get an additional $150 from Swagbucks or MyPoints. So not too shabby. It's similar to the Citizens one I did, but it's for a year instead of 3 months. Next, there's a new $300 bonus for OnePay, which is formerly One Finance, which is that Walmart app. There's a $300 bonus, which requires $5,000 deposit per month. How many months? You must receive at least $1,500 in direct deposits in each month of your bonus term. How long is the bonus term? Let me read this fine print. I can't figure out for how many months. Their terms state that the start bonus amount is total direct deposit required of $1,500 per month for $500 bonus, or $5,000 per month for $300 bonus. It says that the amount of cashback earned is based on the total amount of direct deposit received in each month of the starting bonus term. It doesn't state what the start bonus term is. Each eligible customer can earn cashback the starter bonus when in each month of their start bonus term, as detailed below. Where is the start bonus term? It doesn't state. The start bonus term. Customers who opened a cash account between June 23rd will have a start bonus term of July 1st. Okay, so it is 2 months. So for 2 months, you have to have $5,000 direct deposit or more each month to receive $300. So that's $10,000 to receive $300. That's a lot. Let's see if there's any data points on what counts as or to direct deposit for one. Gotta wait for this big web page to load. Looks like Marcus, Wise, and Fidelity all didn't work, so slim pickings there. Next, we're getting down to it here, folks. Only almost an hour. Next, I did a little trip this past week. I went to Oregon, so I flew Boston to Portland, Oregon Airport, PDX. I flew Alaska for the first time. Alaska was nice. Honestly, not much to say. They were fine. Went to Stephanie's in Logan with my Chase Sapphire, my Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite card. With my Priority Plus, still get restaurants. I think my guests are unlimited. I said one guest because my 2 guests that I was with were still in security. And I was like, hey, they're over in security. Could you just is there any chance you could put on some guests? And they put 1 guest on there. So we got $56 off the meal, which was 5 a.m. We got breakfast sandwiches and potato cubes, which were nice. Landed in Portland, and we got a rental car to drive to Redmond, Oregon, because we had some friends in Bend, Oregon we were staying with. Portland Airport is gorgeous. It looks like they're still undergoing some renovations, but it's really nice. A lot of wood, huge, humongous open space indoors. Really pretty. They got trees inside and stuff. It was really cool. Rented from National, did the National Executive Aisle. It was cool because my friends have never done that before. So they're like, what car did we get? And I'm like, oh, we just pick one off the lot. And that's always fun. We picked a minivan because some friends had skis. We went and hiked a mountain while we were there, and they skied down. I don't want to ski, so I just kind of ran down the mountain sort of and boot scooted down some snow when I could. Then coming back, we went from Redmond to Portland. Obviously got a rental car. They didn't have the executive aisles, but we just got some big GMC that could fit everything. For those wondering, I just do my Visa signature discount, which gives me 5% off of the national rental car. For 1 day for 3 hours for a minivan, it was $130 total, and then on the way back it was $160 because they didn't have the executive aisle, so I had to pick the minivan size. Next, going from Portland to Boston, we went to a Priority Pass restaurant in PDX. There's a bunch of Priority Pass restaurants there, which was nice. There was also 2 lounges, but we weren't nearby, and I didn't want to go to a lounge, just wanted the restaurants. So we went to Capers Bistro, but in the Priority Pass app, it says that it's Capers Market, but they rebranded to Capers Bistro, and it's still the same thing. I went up to the front desk, oh yeah, we still take that. We're just called something else now. I did 2 guests this time, even though I had 3 guests, and it worked fine. I think I could do more. I just got to keep pushing it and see how many they'll let me do. They also had whiskey tasting as a Priority Pass restaurant experience option, which was $28 to try I think a flight of whiskey, which was cool. I'd never seen that before. Also, they had in a movie theater in the airport. It was just local short films, but it was super cool. I liked that airport a lot. that was my local airport, I'd be very happy. I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty happy with Logan, but I enjoy PDX a bunch. Also, we got to the airport kind of early, and I was trying to remember, because I've done this before. I went to the airport, used my Priority Pass restaurant, and then my flight got delayed like 6 hours, and I was like, damn it. I want to use Priority Pass again for food because I'm hungry again, and what else am I going to do for 6 hours? And I went and found my data point on Dr. Credit from, I think, 2023, 2022, 2022, August 26, 2022. I used my Priority Pass restaurant 2.5 hours in between. Went back to this. I went to a separate restaurant in the same airport 2.5 hours later, and it worked. So Dr. Credit reports that it's a 2-hour cooldown for using Priority Pass access, and it seems to be accurate in my experience. Also, I updated my lounge visit tracker in the Patreon. If you're interested in that, that's a Patreon exclusive. It's just like a tracker of all the lounges I've ever been to, a little review, and my value that I've gotten from it, and the card that I used for it. All right, next we have a bunch of Amazon updates because Amazon Prime Day is coming. So Amazon Prime Day is from July 8th to 11th. So Dr. Credit normally does a good job of highlighting stuff, some general deals, which we'll go over here in a little bit. But Amazon Prime, get $15 off $30 credit when you back up your photos. I've already done that once, so that doesn't work for me. 18 to 24 years old get 5% back on Amazon purchases on Prime Day. GitHub Plus benefit of $10 off of $20 purchase with Prime 10. Save $1 per gallon on gas up to 35 gallons from July 3rd to 6th. $30 credit when you spend $100 on select pet supplies. They do that pretty often. Amazon devices, there's often a lot of deals on Prime Day for those. I got a Amazon Kindle Oasis, which I haven't read in a little while, but I do love that product. And they just refreshed it like the year after I got it, which is kind of annoying. But I like the physical page buttons, and I just like they make a nice product. Discount on select grocery summer essentials, $20 off 60. There's Amazon Grocery 9 free trial, which gives you Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh, and more. Amazon Kindle Unlimited for 3 months for free, which is $36. Audible Premium for 3 months for free, which is $45. Amazon Music Unlimited 4 months for free, which is $44. I've used Amazon Music Unlimited. When I used it, I think I had it like maybe 3 or 4 years ago at this point. The app was horrible on Android. Maybe it's better now, but not great. There's also card deals. So like you can check out at Amazon, use a point, activate an offer for one of your cards and get like a % off or dollar value off. So you can use add a Discover card and get $20 off of a $20.01 purchase. 30% off using one Discover point, max $30. Get 40% off using one American Express merchant reward points, membership reward points, up to $60. Chase Amazon Prime Visa, get $200 sign-up bonus with no spend required. I have a referral link for that, so if you're interested in that, definitely use my referral link. I think I get $50 from it, so thanks. Extra 5% for 10% total on your Amazon Prime card on select items. There's also a bunch of discounts, including Apple iPad on sale, AirPods 4 on sale, AirPods Pro on sale, Instant Pots on sale. There's a whole lot of things, y'all. I guess shop. What else did I want to cover? I think that's it for Amazon. Keep an eye out for deals. Dr. Credit does a really good synopsis of the deals that do come out. Sorry, I just punched the microphone. They do a really good synopsis of the deals that do come out during Prime Day, so keep an eye on them. I already read that. 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 All right. Costco is doing $100 in-kind gift card for $70. Jeez, sorry, I keep hitting this microphone. I live in a pretty big city. I live in Boston. Oh, I live Boston adjacent. But there's a bunch of restaurants that use, geez, I'm so sorry. I keep hitting everything. I think I'm getting fidgety because we're at an hour here. There's a bunch of restaurants that use in-kind. It's always annoying to try and use. Like I have to tell the cashier, like, hey, I'm checking out with in-kind. And they're like, okay, try now. No, it didn't work. Okay, let me hit this. Okay, try now. And then it works. But it's 30% off of like just restaurants. Like I found a nice deli that takes it. I had like lox on a bagel with a cream cheese schmear, lettuce and onion and some latkes for 30% off. I'll take it. Weird thing about in-kind, one thing that's not weird but nice, they do a bunch of offers. You can use offers on top of the discount of the gift cards that are in there. They also do discounts in their app. Like they were doing 40% off in-kind cash, but you have to spend like $300, and I didn't feel like loading that much money. I have like 200 in there, which I'm fine with, and I start tracking that so I know how much money is in these various apps. But definitely check to see if there's like a map on in-kind. So if there's some in-kind offerings around you, I would suggest getting a gift card. Next, Apple has their back to school event for students and educators. Purchase of a MacBook gets free AirPods 4 with noise cancellation, AirPods Pro 2 for a $70 fee. Magic Mouse or trackpad or keyboard. iPad purchases get Apple Pencil Pro, AirPods 4 with noise cancellation, or you can get a premium keyboard option with additional fees. iMac gets AirPods 4 with noise cancellation or AirPods Pro, which is additional $70. So if you're in the business for a new Mac, now's a good time to pick it up. Costco is also doing Uber gift cards, $100 for $75. This was a lightning deal. I think it's still going on. Every time I click this link, though, it doesn't bring me to the gift card, so it's hard to verify. It is bringing me here this time. I have to sign in to see price. Come on, Costco. Their website's so bad, man. It's not $75 anymore. It's just $79.99, but still a good deal. If you use Uber often. Next, DoorDash Summer of Dash Pass is here with 5 weeks of deals from June 26th to June 30th. To July 30th. June 26th to July 7th. I feel like I've read this already. Am I going crazy? I didn't read this. I must have read it to myself. June 26th to July 2nd. Free select entree at Chipotle at $25 or more. I'm not going to read all these, but there's various gift cards, gift discounts that happen. One of them that wasn't really advertised that Dr. Credit shared, and I made a lightning deal for, and is now expired. Dash Pass members get 50% off of groceries with coupon code DPGROC50, specifically just for June 27th. You get 50% off up to, I think it was like $40. So I shared a screenshot. My total was $84, which obviously they upcharge. I got it delivered because you had to get it delivered. Delivery fee was waived. The service fee was waived. So I didn't pay any fees. My discount was $50.03. That was the 50% off. Plus, there's a Chase quarterly benefit. Chase Sapphire and Chase Freedoms now have quarterly benefits. So I just had to select that card in my DoorDash app, and it would automatically say, do you want to use your Chase quarterly benefit, specifically for groceries, I believe. So I applied that, and then I wound up using my DoorDash credits. So I get DoorDash gift cards various times for about 20% off. So I wound up getting $84 worth of DoorDash groceries for $37 delivered to my front door. And I got that for 20% off. So 20% of 37 is about $8. So for $30, I got a bunch of groceries. It was a really great value. It's like little things like this that are nice. And if you think they're good too, go over to the Patreon and sign up for as little as $1 for lightning deals. All right, next, Kraken is back with a top cashback offer of $85.50 when you make your first trade of $100 or more. Pretty easy. You can purchase $100 worth of USDC if you want, and then get $85.50. I like Top Cashback a lot. They wind up paying usually most times. Next, last two things. Robinhood is offering a 1% to 2% crypto transfer match. I believe the holding period for this is 12 months. Let me double check that. Hold. Yeah, 1 year holding period. I believe they give it to you on deposit, and then they'll claw it back if you withdraw. Word to the wise, Robinhood is scum. Plenty of data points out there of if they don't like you, they'll liquidate your entire asset portfolio and send it where they want. Doesn't matter if it's from the place you put it in or not. I wouldn't put any real assets into Robinhood. And then finally, since I have all these Hilton cards, I've been looking for good redemption values, and I was looking in Mexico, and I saw that there was this nice resort for the Playa Resorts and Hotel for an all-inclusive resort. And on June 11th, which was like a day before I was looking into this, Hilton no longer owns that, and Hyatt now acquired it. So now I can't stay there. How sad. Also, if you have any suggestions for using Hilton points, definitely let me know. I have soon to be, I think, 300,000 Hilton points. Also a free night credit. Also a $200 biannual credit with one's going to expire. That's a shame. With the Hilton Surpass, and then now my Hilton business card. So definitely let me know. All right, this is one of the longer ones. I'm glad I got this done. Thanks everybody for listening. Happy 4th of July. I'm going to go turn on my AC. The timestamps might be delayed. I think I said that already, but I forgot now because it's been 70 minutes since I said it. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. Peace.